And good day all, this is Healing29 back again for some indie comic reviews, and for these indie comic reviews I'll be covering Redcoat issue 11 along with the next issue of Rogue Sun being issue 26, to which we have a little bit of a crossover with members of the Massiveverse, also including the Radiant Black members. So I'll now get things ready and organized for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. This seems to, the cover as well as the story implies that we are entering the era or seeing things that are happening within the era of the Civil War that is taking place in the USA. And of course we get to see the immortal Simon Pure against the character of the Northerner and some of the events that are taking place here. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. Of course we get a little bit caught up as to what is happening, what has happened previously and where we are now within the story, and of course where it's moving to. So as we finally move, we get to catch up with what is happening with Simon Pure and also what is happening in the time of this Civil War, the characters that we're meeting up with. I must admit I didn't get the name of every character, so I tried to stick with some of the main characters that are sort of like leading us in the story. Mainly Simon Pure, the Northerner, and I think it's Major Sherman. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we do catch up with the character known as the Northerner. We don't get their exact name in here, but I'm not too worried about it. It might be something that might actually we get to see in the next issue. But I do like this character's interaction and what is actually happening here. Until last but not least, the Northerner does catch up with Simon Pure. So for the internal art, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. First things first, considering how far we are issue-wise, have we started getting any references to any of the previous issues that might be important to this? The answer is no. Next is the area of time, to which we learn that this event within the story is taking place on July 16th of 1864. So, as I mentioned before, it's around the time of the Civil War. The location is, of course, the USA, so we've got a bit of north and south happening here. Next is the cast of characters, consisting of Simon Pure, the Northerner, and, of course, the name of Major Sherman, who came up within the story. The overall story rating, I give a 7 out of 10. I am looking forward to the next issue as to what will happen between the Northerner and Simon Pure. So now it's time to move into Rogue Sun, issue 26. So as we move into Rogue Sun, issue 26, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10, as I quite liked how they put an effort into the cover. Especially in relation to who was making an appearance within the story. And for that, it does actually deserve the 7.5 that I give it. Next is the area of the internal art, which we'll have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, as well as what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we have some things taking place at the Ballast State in wherever this place is. I think it's Orleans. One thing that the writer needs to remember is to remind us where this location, where the main location is, because you're going to have people who are going to pick this up and not know where the hell it is, or not know where the hell it's taking place. And of course, that is actually going to lead into a part of what the story rating will be later on. But looking art-wise, we also get the appearance of another villain, which we see is a type of werewolf villain. And we've still got Dylan Bell being the character of Rogue's son, but now we've got someone known as Blackfire, who also has like a similar power to Rogue's son. As we move towards the middle of the story, we finally get a bit of a team up with Blackfire, Rogue's son, and also Radiant Black, as they start to move onto the scene and take on the next lot of villains that are interacting with this particular universe. As the story continues, we get a bit of an investigation of sorts, but not only that, but also this discussion between characters. So I wonder if they might be possibly planning a massive version of a Justice League of sorts, or an Avengers. It's just an idea up in the air. It doesn't mean it's accurate. And last but not least, towards the end, to which Dylan Bell returns to the estate. So, for the internal art, as I really quite enjoyed the art in this issue, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, how does this settle in the area of the story and its rating? Now, the story rating being made of reference, time, location, and of course cast. Did we get anything reference-wise to any previous issues that might be important, even if it's something Massiveverse related? No. Though I think it would have actually helped the story a little bit more, to be honest. Next is the area of time, to which we don't get any indication as to when this is taking place time-wise, within whether it's the Rogue Sun or the Radiant Black timeline or somewhere within the Massiveverse timeline. It would be nice to know, and that's where even the comic reference would also help too. Next is the locations, to which we have the Bell Estate. I think we're in the area of New Orleans where they have their place. It doesn't hurt to remind the audience as to where things are taking place here. Next is the cast of characters, consisting of Dylan Bell, Marcus. Of course, we had Blackfire, Dottie. We also had Radiant Black, Grandma Bloodmoon, Caleb, and I think that's about all. We also had Demonica mentioned. Apart from that, I give the story rating of a 6.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.